Fun Entertainment's Rad Raygun for Xbox Indie just may be the best $1 you'll spend all year and is a frontrunner for greatest soundtrack of 2013. What with its monochrome look and Mega Man-inspired gameplay, Rad could have coasted on nostalgia alone, but it's thanks to solid action, great level design, and fun power-ups that this comes recommended to retro fans and modern gamers alike. From top to bottom, the game is rough around the edges, but what it may lack in polish, it more than makes up for in charm. The game itself, a pun on US President Ronald Reagan, the story is packed with clever references to 80s political and gaming culture. It's guaranteed to make you crack up more than a few times. And the whole thing is wrapped up in a flawless soundtrack by the always amazing Phantomech. I hope I'm saying that right. Rad Raygun is unfortunately over too quickly, but listen, we ain't getting any new Mega Man anytime soon, and for all the people that say that I only ever review expensive games, well, you can spare $1 for Rad Raygun. There is a fatigue that has set in with indie games that cop a retro swagger, and it's easy to be skeptical of a game that in 2013 is essentially Mega Man on the Game Boy I Love the 80s edition. Loving remembrances of 80s pop culture hasn't been a fresh idea since Vice City did it 11 years ago, but I'm happy to report that Rad is smarter and more clever than it probably has any right to be. In the year 1980X, the world is in disarray with communist robots running amok. Super robot Rad Raygun must travel the globe to put the world in balance. Washington, D.C., Berlin, Chernobyl, and of course, Afghanistan. It's a game brimming with references and jokes, too many to list in this review. Right down to the bestiary, the world of 1980X is funny and charming, never pandering. Rad Raygun joins the ranks of indie games that lean hard on old-school nostalgia and earn their right to do so. Rad is also much more than a simple Game Boy game. It has that signature monochrome look, but features graphics and animation you could never do on an old Game Boy. Environments and enemies are big and detailed, with bosses being especially well animated. Rad Raygun looks great. Rad is also, simply put, a whole lot of fun, though short and easy. This ain't gonna chase away the Blue Bomber blues, but it's something Mega Man fans cannot miss. And Mega Man isn't the only game Rad borrows from. Mixing 2 parts Mega Man and 1 part Metroid, levels are flush with secret upgrades and power-ups. Jetpacks, backslides, and an arc shot make Rad a fun dude to control. Levels are fun to explore, rewarding players for experimenting with upgrades and power-ups. And Rad's ability to duck and double jump once again put Professor Light's engineering credibility in question. In spite of all this though, the game's most brilliant moment may be the sudden appearance of a Tetris minigame. True fun went above and beyond for such a small project. It's a clever story mixed with smart gameplay, a winning combination. Though, Rad Raygun is indie in every sense of the word, and not surprisingly has its share of minor issues. Jumping is a little wonky. If you're gonna so brazenly ape Mega Man, you gotta nail that jumping. Evidently, there's more programming nuance to Mega Man's acrobatic talents, and True Fun couldn't quite nail it. And it's easy to occasionally get stuck on walls, and one time I was walking and just suddenly died. It's also not uncommon for Rad to suddenly blink to another part of the screen. And being a Mega Man fan, I've found this game to be incredibly easy, especially the boss fights. It's a compliment as much as a criticism that the whole thing was over too quickly. I tore through Rad's adventure in under 45 minutes, and I wanted more. But if you're not a huge Mega Man fan like myself, you probably won't even notice some of these gripes. And even still, it's hard to be upset over $1. Though rough, short, and easy, I never felt like I didn't get my money's worth. In fact, I still had a couple of bucks burning a hole in my pocket, so I bought the brilliant soundtrack for $5 on Bandcamp. Phantomech, who you may know from Hey Ash What You Playin's credit music, delivers as always with the massive chiptune jams impossible to sit still to. If this soundtrack doesn't appear on year-end best-of lists, then there's no justice in this world. True Fun Entertainment's Chris Bryant and Chris Hernandez have not crafted a perfect game, but a thoroughly enjoyable and smart game with an incredible soundtrack. And for 80 Microsoft points or $1, there's no excuse not to play Rad Raygun on Xbox Indie, and hopefully by the time you see this, Steam. I eagerly await their next project. Highly recommended.